All right. Good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Okay, let me see. I think now we are on live right now on YouTube. We are on I think we are also on Facebook. So if you are streaming in from both YouTube and whichever you are, drop me a hi in the chat. Okay, so first off, happy Monday, everyone. Super glad that you guys are here today to join us for our what we call our Monday lunchtime live to kickstart Monday perfectly. So we're gonna go through some exciting stuff today. Some five stocks to buy if you use it every day. Okay, so let's give a while more for more people to come in. But maybe for a start, for those of you who are joining us from web today, let us know what are you have for lunch today. Okay, just less planning to use. I'm just going to toggle some stuff. Okay, can. All right. Okay. Hi. Grace, Carol, Zan, Andy, Tessa, Carol. Carol. Today Rachel is going to be on live on another day. She's preparing for something else, which I'm going to share a bit more later as well. So today is going to be me, but don't worry. How this kind of session is going to work is going to be a mix, right? Sometimes it'll just be me, sometimes it'll just be Rachel, but sometimes it'll just be the both of us. Okay, so just to let everyone know. Now I'm going to start sharing my screen right now. Okay, so let me know if everything is okay, and I will get started. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, today we are going to go through something which I think that's why most of you join. You guys know what we're going to talk about today, right? Okay, now what we're going to talk about today to share with all of you is the next the five stocks to buy today if you are using it every day, but you don't actually own it yet. Okay, so let me share with you a little bit about these five stocks. Okay, so I mean, for those of you, maybe let's try it this way. What you can do is that maybe for you can just type in the chat, right? Let me know what are some of the things that you use on a day-to-day basis that you know are listed companies. Okay, it can be anything, can be your workplace, can be personal, just type in the chat what things do you use on a daily basis that you can think of. Okay, be in your company or in your personal life, just type in the chat. Okay, and I'll see what are some of the things that all of you say. In the meantime, while I'm going through the some of these ideas, right, if you have any questions, just feel free to just drop it in the chat. And we have a dedicated Q&A at the end of today's live, end of the live as well. But whenever I see any questions that's suitable, I will also go and answer it as we go along. Okay, so so before we begin, okay, I see some of you saying that Andy is saying PNG. Okay, Andy also said that he's having a KFC for lunch. Okay, Carol is saying Microsoft. Tessa says Nvidia. Okay, surprising, Tessa. I wonder what you use on a daily basis that requires Nvidia. Maybe you're using a personal PC. For me, I also have a PC, and Nvidia, I use the Nvidia graphics card lah. So I that's why I also kind of like use it every day. I see Tesla also say Google, wonderful. Andy says Colgate, great. Okay. Some of you might also know that right now where we are streaming on. We are streaming on YouTube, which is owned by Google, right? That's one thing. We are also using on Facebook, which is Meta, right? Those are all listed companies. So you can see that even right now while we are on this live, right, we are already utilizing some of these companies, right? Zan says Starbucks, right? Interestingly, Starbucks is they recently had this new National Day drink, which is a pistachio drink. Not bad. Okay, so Grace, Microsoft, Google, and Tesla. Not sure what I'm saying. Drawing program. Yes, you're right. Drawing program. That's one. Live now, not on. Maybe let me know what you're referring to. Okay, now let's get started right now. So first off, before we begin, the usual disclaimer, right? Okay, so what we share here are not financial advisors. It's just for information and educational purposes only. Now, for the first company that we are going to share, okay, I think all of you have already, some of you actually said it in chat, and it's something that I think a lot of your businesses a lot of companies that you work at, right? If you think of what are the platforms that they use to go and communicate with people, right? It's most of the time, right? For those, especially big multinational companies, you realize there's only one platform that they use. Okay, and this company is none other than Microsoft. Right, this is our first company that we use on the day-to-day basis that you might not own it yet, right? Okay, so Microsoft, right? Microsoft, if you think about Microsoft, the first thing that comes to our mind is that, oh, maybe they Microsoft Office, like Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, right? And but actually, some of the things that Microsoft do is like Microsoft Outlook. Or for you in a business, right? What are you chatting with, right? Is always Microsoft Teams. Okay, Microsoft Teams is the thing, right? That we use to communicate. And I want all of you to think about, right? If you look at Microsoft, right? Look at how, apart from what we just spoke, is actually expand into several things. Example, right? You have the what we call the intelligent cloud, Azure. We have the Visual Studio, and like productivity and business processes. You have the Microsoft Office, right? Even Skype, and even LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn is the like the business of the business platform, right? Business social platform. Okay, like Facebook, but just that for business, right? And some of you might not know that it's actually owned by Microsoft, but it actually is, right? It's the only platform that is for businesses. All right. And then other personal computing, example, your Windows, everything, Xbox being, those are smaller, but the bigger bulk is actually their cloud units as well as their productivity and business processes. Okay. Now, think about it, right? Microsoft Azure, which is their cloud services, which is very entrenched into businesses. And the next one is Outlook and Teams, right? They are deeply integrated into business, right? Maybe even your own businesses, that the company that you work at. So I want all of you to let me know and type in the chat, right? Okay. Do you think it is easy to replace this integrated process and systems in the businesses? Right? Do you think it's easy for a company to shift out Microsoft Teams and Outlook and shift to a totally new platform? Right? Okay, just type in the chat. Let me know whether it's easy or not. If it's easy, just type easy, EZ. If it's not easy, just type not EZ. Okay? So you see, a Microsoft ecosystem, right? They create this thing, what we call a high switching cost for business. Okay, what does high switching cost means, right? It means that once you use a product, right, it is very hard for you to stop using it. Okay, once you start using, it's very hard to stop using it. That means like if you want to change to another platform, right, it gets super hard for you to do that. Okay, so this is what high switching cost means. Okay, so this is for Microsoft, the first one. And you can see, right, if you look at how Microsoft has been progressing, I see that some of you say, Carol says, unless a Titan rise up. This is a very good point, Carol, but think about it. What would it take for a Titan to rise up? Right. So we always think that, oh, we must be very careful of competitors, but you also must think of the progress, the speed of the competitors, and how much a competitor has to do, how much a competitor needs to do in order to surpass Microsoft. And at the same time, know that Microsoft is also moving on at incredible speed. So it's not something that might be easy to replace, but of course, that is always a valid concern. That's why we have to monitor very closely. So this is one of the main thing to take note. And if you look at their numbers, right, for Microsoft numbers, so this is a chart that compares both their current share price as well as their revenue, okay, since 2014. So you can see, right, how Microsoft revenue has been improving over the past 10 years. Okay, so you can see it's not a straight line, not like a straight line graph upwards. You can see how it is actually a curve, a gradual curve upwards very nicely, right? And you can see how the share price has also moved in a similar way as well, right? Moving it in a also like what we call a slope upwards, a very steep gradient. So these are the kinds of this is how good that Microsoft is, right? Because the main thing, like I shared, they are very sticky in any ecosystem, right? And I see there's a comment Carol also shared, right? If you guys have any questions, feel free to just type in the chat below and I will answer it right away when I can. And I can see that Carol says that Microsoft stock is very overvalued. Now, so Carol, I want to share with you. Okay, overvalue is of course there are many valuations model in this world, right? But what might be overvalued now? Okay, I want you all of you to remember this. What might be overvalued now might not be overvalued 3 years later. Okay, let the thought sit inside your head for a while. Why do I say that? Okay, let me share with you this. I can share with you that 5 years ago, okay, when Microsoft was at $100, right? Everyone also said the same thing. Microsoft stock is very overvalued. At $100, 5 years later, right? Okay, Microsoft stock is at $500, and I tell you that people also say it's overvalued. Okay, so while it's true at a particular state in time, it is overvalued, right? Okay, over time, right, when the business continues to perform, which is the kind of companies that we want to buy in, over time, what might be overvalued now might not be overvalued later. Okay, another example, right, is example DBS. I know that DBS along the way, right, even my some of my family members are also saying that DBS is overvalued. When it was $35, right, people say DBS is overvalued. When it was $42, people say DBS is overvalued. And when it's $50 now, people are saying DBS is overvalued. Okay, but I can tell you now, suddenly $42 becomes very, very cheap, right? If you think about the opportunity, right? So overvalued, right, is always you must always think in the forward terms. See, overvalued in 3 to 5 years later. If you think about it, right, even though DBS right now at $50, you might think, oh, DBS is so expensive. I tell you, it's a price anchor because you see the word 5, right? From 4 change to 5 at the first number, right? You might think, oh, become damn expensive. But what I tell you, DBS, even though right now the value, in terms of the dividend, is still 5%. Right? So think about it from that angle. Don't let be anchored only to the price. Okay, so Jenna also asked, can we buy long leap call now on Microsoft? Jenna, I won't be here to give you the direct answer whether you can buy. I think that when you want to buy a long leap call, for those of you who don't know, it's an option strategy. I think it all depends on your understanding and of your business, and of course, you have to do your financial analysis, your fundamental analysis. You have to do your technical analysis, which are things that we dive deeper into our classes and to our community, so that everyone, right, on top of us sharing the things that we do, everyone can also learn how to do on their own as well. All right, so this is for the first company, Microsoft. Okay, and then let's move on to the next company. Okay, before I move on to the next company, I saw this question by Karen. How do you decide the timing to purchase the stock? Karen, I want to share with you that there's a very popular saying, right, that time in the market is better than timing the market, right? So you see, it's the same rationale that I shared earlier. I can tell you that there is no best time. Anyone who tells you say there is the best time to enter a stock, right, is probably lying to you, because there is no best time one, right? You see, last time, right, even if you bought at an all-time high, for even the S&P 500, even you bought at the all-time high 5 years ago, right? 5 years now, you will be still be making money, right? Because there's no best time, there's only a right time. Okay, so how do you determine the right time? That is where you do your fundamental analysis, your technical analysis. You find whether it's fair value, okay, and then you enter with conviction and you just hold strong. Okay, that's how you do it. That's how you actually build your portfolio over time. Okay, you cannot time the market, and even if you time the market, there's even a study that's being done. That even if you time the market every single year, the bottom of every single year, right, compared to an investor who just every year just put in a lump sum, right? The investor to put in lump sum also fare pretty well. Very, very minor difference from the one that actually try to time the market every single year. Okay, so do yourself a favor. No need to focus. Don't focus only on the price. Don't focus on timing the market. It will not be 100%, and your mind will go crazy, because you will keep, once the price drop a bit out, you go crazy already. So focus more on looking at the company. What the company does. You think the company will be here 10 years later or not? That is the main thing. All right. Let's move on to the next company, and it's also a company that actually where we are streaming on right now. One of the company, and this is none other than Google. Okay, and YouTube is actually owned by Google. Okay, so it's part of Google as well. Okay, so this company, I'm pretty sure, right, all of us will use it on a day-to-day basis. Like, there's no other search engine that is as close as Google. Okay, so if you look at Google's business model, right, you might think that, oh, Google is only just a search engine, but actually no. Google is actually very, very extensive in what their business is. Okay, so search is still the biggest revenue. That means, advertising, people search, and when you search something, it pops up on like the top results, right? Those are one of them. There's also other advertising, like when you click a website, there are additional ads link at the below of certain websites as well. These are all part of Google's advertising revenue. Second one is actually Google Cloud, okay, which is the next biggest, right? Google Cloud is, think of it like Microsoft Azure, but Google Cloud is the same thing, just that it's for Google Cloud. And some businesses use it, especially they're using Google services, but you can see it's not as big as Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure is still the one that's used by many, many big businesses out there. Okay, then you have Pixel phone. I am using a Pixel phone myself. I love Pixel as well. It's one of the best phone I've used. And also Google AI Assistant, right? As well as YouTube, which is what you're using now, which also YouTube has ads inside too. So you can see the business model is very extensive. It's not just one single model as well. Now, then the next question I want to ask all of you, let me know in the chat. Okay, I want to ask all of you, are there any other search engine which you think has higher traffic than Google? Okay, type in the chat. If you think yes, just type yes. If you think no, just type no. Traffic, what does traffic means? That means a lot of people search using it. Okay, just think of it when you go and want to find something online, right? What platform do you use? Very simple. Just ask yourself that. Okay, when you want to search something online, what platform do you use as well? Okay, so think of that. Let me know in the chat whether you see there's any other search engine which has high traffic. Maybe 20 years ago I can think of it now, but 20 years later, right? Okay, it might be a different story lah. Okay, and if you think about the kind of how Google has been around a long time, right, I think it tells you a very, very different story. Okay, now next one is that okay, Carol says Bing. I saw Carol says Bing. Yeah, okay, Bing is also one of them, which is by Microsoft. Okay, which is the company that we covered earlier. Okay, Amelia says Chat GPT. Okay, Chat GPT is the one that I will share a bit later because it's a concern. Yeah, Eric says Yahoo. Wonderful, right? So these are all companies, but if you think which one has higher traffic, okay, you can do a search, right? Google still has one of the highest traffic in the world out of all the search engines, because most people until now, right, that the term Google is a company name, but you can see that now the term Google has become a verb, right? It becomes a verb already. That means if you want to search something, right, you realize that hey, we don't say let's search something on the internet, right? What do we say? Let's Google it, right? Go and Google it lah. Right, you see, when a term has evolved, when a company brand has evolved into a verb, it shows how strong their brand recognition is, that it just becomes a verb by itself. Okay, let's Google it. Right, and then some of the examples that you say, right? Example, let's Bing or let's Yahoo. Right, so ask yourself, do you see people saying let's Bing it, let's Yahoo it? Very rarely, right? Or most of them they will say let's search on Bing or search on Yahoo. Whereas for Google, right, you will say go and Google it, let's Google it. Okay, and then one of the Chat GPT as well. So this is the next thing that I want to share with all of you, because one of the common misconception, right, that actually was happening over the past few months is that people are saying that, hey, Google search is going to die because everyone is using Chat GPT to search now. Okay, so how many of you heard of it before? If you heard of it before, just type yes in the chat. Okay, this is a common thing that was circling around over the past few months. People are concerned. Why? Because instead of using Google to search, right, people are saying, oh, now no one uses Google to search already. Everyone use ChatGPT to get the results because it's more accurate, it is faster. There's a lot more information, and even you search on Google, right, you still have to manually go and click yourself. Right, some even say that, oh, now I don't use Google, I'll use Reddit to go and search, like what Tessa shared earlier lah. Right, so but then this was a concern, but if you look at Google's results that they just reported, right, you look at their numbers, guys. So you see when their Q2 results came out a few weeks ago, right, just came out only, they blew it out of the park, it blew past expectation. So that's why everyone said that, hey, Google is not going to succeed, right? They just came out and said that, hey, actually that's not true, right? Because on top of them, right, just doing search engine, notice how that Google, they are also actively working on their own AI ventures, right? Like Gemini, right? Okay, so in fact, now when you search on Google, right, you might think that, oh, now people use ChatGPT to search, but you'll be surprised, because now when you search on Google, right, immediately right at the top, okay, right at the top, when you search something, the Gemini appears. Let me show you guys a live example. Okay, I'm going to share my screen right now again. And we're going to go open a Google website, and we're going to search together. Okay, I'll show you what I mean by this. Okay, we share my screen once again. Okay, this is Google. So now you see, this is Google. So let's say I'm trying to search example. What can Microsoft latest earnings? Okay, so when I search, right, you can see this one is a Microsoft link. But what if we search breakdown Microsoft latest earnings? For me. Okay, then you can see, right, also same, but then if you try to search general news, okay, example, let me give an example, let's say, what is a sell put option? Okay, so you can see, now, Google, right, they will also prompt up the most important things, and for certain things that you search, right, they will also have the Gemini right at the top over here, okay, that's how powerful they is, okay, so sometimes, the Gemini doesn't go up, but now you can see, right, Google AI search, they will actually appear, right, inside here when you go and search something. Example like this AI overview over here. When you search something, okay, you will see this AI overview that comes out. So you see how Google is actually adapting, and not just they are not just saying that wait, let me stop share. I will share with you again on the correct screen. You can see that now, when you search certain things, right, they actually have this AI overview that came out. Okay, so you can see, right, how they are actually still trying to put you to the platform, right? And in addition to this AI overview, sometimes the links they use, right, they will also go and put in the ads link for people who sign up for Google Ads. So you see, that's one thing. So it's not like they're just sitting and letting people take the market share. And it's proven, right, from their latest earnings, that they are adapting very well and their results are still very, very, very strong. Right, that's why after earnings, right, their post market, and when the next day the market open, right, the share price actually moved up, right? So Google is the next company I talk about. I think that Google is still very, very powerful as well, and you can see how their revenue is, like you look at the period from 2021 to 2022, okay, very interestingly, okay, I'm going to turn laser pointer. You see this period, from 2021, this 2021, right, to 2022, you can see the revenue going up, but the share price dropping, during this period. So guys, this is something I give you guys a bonus to think about it. If you see this kind of thing happening, right, I tell you, this is an opportunity. Most people, right, will get scared. Most people see already, right, they're like, wow, the price is going to drop, Google is going to die. I tell you, great companies over time, they will only perform and they'll get better and better and better. And you can see, right, even though, just now I think some of you have some questions, right, you can see, even though, right, if you, let's say you buy at this all-time high at 2021, by 2023, you make my money already. So you can see, right, some people might say, hey, that this is an all-time high, it's so expensive, like 2021, people think all-time high too expensive, don't buy. Now, that point in 2021 is the cheapest one of the cheapest point that you can buy already. Right, so guys, remember again, when we think about companies, right, don't think about now, think about 3-5 years later, will they still be here? Will they be stronger now? Will they be overvalued 3 to 5 years later at the current price that I buy? Very important for you guys to succeed as investors. I want all of you to succeed. Okay, now, there's Google. Now let's move on to the next company. Another company that y'all maybe on y'all take bus or MRT, y'all confirm use one. Y'all don't know, right? But actually y'all using it already. Every single day y'all take transport to and fro, y'all are already using it. And this company is none other than Visa, right? Where y'all use to go and tap, okay, the Visa card. So when you're on board MRT, right, you all use your credit card, right? And every single time, anyone taps using a Visa card, right, Visa gets a cut of the transaction fee. Okay, so you can see, right, it's like Mastercard like that. So Visa and Mastercard, they are like competitors, right? But they're very, very close, neck to neck. Okay, so you can see how this kind of thing entrenched in our daily life. We might not think much of it, but they are actually very solid and very, very strong business. Now, if you look at Visa, right, all of you might think, oh, Visa is just credit card, right? They only earn for transaction fee. What else is there to the company? Now, let me share with you. You can see how they have actually their services is not just consumer payment, right, is actually the main thing over here, right? All the tap to pay, which is what we are more familiar with, tap to pay, all the your PayWave, your NFC, their credit card, debit card, everything that we know, click and pay, and all that, right? But what they are doing is what we call the network of networks. They are expanding a network to not just being consumer payment. So you can see, right, they have this business segment called New Flows. Okay, New Flow business, right, is focused on driving digitalization and improving payments across all payment flow. beyond just consumer to business, okay, through their network, you can see it through their Visa commercial situation and Visa direct platform. So these are all more for businesses, right? They are catering more to businesses as well. And on top of that, even bigger and even broader, right? You can see they even add this thing called the value-added services. Okay, so on top of that, right, you can see that they do risk and identity solutions, advisory service, open banking solutions, acceptance solutions, basically everything, the full spectrum, consumer to business and business to business as well. So a lot of the back end stuff, right? Actually, Visa also provides and it enables their consumer to do. Just that we don't see it lah. We only see the consumer payment as the first level of things. Okay, and if you look at the annual opportunity, you can see the amount of consumer is still the biggest, which is still the main focus. But you can see how they are actually there's also a very, very big market in the new flow market as well as the value added service market. So you can see, right, the addressable consumer spend, right? Okay, it is that total is like $41 trillion, and it's only going to grow. Right, it's only going to grow. It's not going to stop here as well. Okay, everything one day in future, right, envision a society that is all payless, right, a totally payless industry. So you can see for Visa, right, they're actually very big already, They actually capture 11.5 trillion, which is like 25% of the market. But 25%, there's still room, Imagine, there's still room for both Visa and Mastercard to compete. And even new flows is even bigger. New flows, look at that. Their commercial revenue, right? 1.7 trillion. Okay. And look at their payment opportunity, the payment volume. Okay. Not revenue, volume. Okay. Look at the payment volume on new flows, right? It is 200 trillion. So it's very, very big. There's a lot of opportunity across the business for them to continue sustaining over the long time. Okay. And then fraud detection, data analytics, those kind of stuff. So you can see that the growth of these value-added services and the new flow segment, they actually gradually help to reduce the Visa's dependency on the consumer payments, right? So you can see how they are gradually going added more value add to the business model so that more people can benefit and they can touch more businesses, So it's very great stability for future financial results. And when we look at their numbers, again, same track record. Now you notice, for good companies, right, you all will see a trend already. I already showed you guys two companies at the front. Now you see Visa again, right? You all will start to notice a trend, right? Now the company I share here, you notice that I also specially select 5 companies, which I know are good companies, right? And you can see, right, now even just by you attending this live. So if you have your friends, you guys better get them to come to join this live, because I'm sharing some things that only our community knows one. You can see, right, there's a particular trend one for these kind of companies one, right? How their revenue, right, it's not straight line, This is not straight line revenue, This is not like that one, It's not straight line, How does the revenue looks like, this kind of company? The revenue curve upwards one. All right, when the revenue curve upward, the share price will also curve upwards one. Right, so you can see, right, these are the traits of what we call very, very high quality companies. And just by these, right, you are able to identify certain companies which may be fair value or might be great companies for you to own in the long term. Now the keyword is long term. If you are here to think that, hey, I buy this company, next day I'm going to make 30%, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but that is not what we are here for. Is for patience and long-term investing, right? For delayed gratification. Very simple. Like we teach a kid, right? We teach a kid, right? Hey, you want to go and buy something, or you better save your money first. You save your money, you work hard, and then you buy it later. This is called delayed gratification. Just as how we teach our kids. Why do we teach our kids that way? Because we know, right, that being patient is a virtue, right? And that's why investing is the same logic, right? But many people are saying, hey, quick money, let's make quick money, let's make quick gains. I tell you, ask yourself, is it sustainable? Right, you realize that a lot of noise are out there about trading, a lot of quick money, people are saying it, but at the same time, right, what is one thing you don't see is people making losses. Very important. You go and ask everyone, right? Ask anyone, hey, y'all got lose money, or y'all can share me. I tell you, 90% will not share if they lose money. Who want to share when they lose money? Everyone will only share when they make money. So then it creates an image to you that, hey, you trade, you confirm make money. Very easy one. But I tell you, there's a lot of layers to it. There's your emotions coming into play. There's how much time you can dedicate. There's how much your risk tolerance you can take. Some people, they can put in 20K into one trade, but you can or not. You put a trade that you're just learning. Sometimes you want to put $20, you're also scared already. Some people also scared already. Then how do you actually make money from there? But whereas long investing, right, when you buy the great companies, Your short term, right? I tell you, you might not win. You might win maybe 70%, but in the long term, your odds of winning is 90% when you buy great companies that compound over time. Okay, and that's how you build generational wealth. Okay, type in the chat GW. GW stands for generational wealth. That at the end, in your golden years, right, of retirement, right, you got this lump sum, you go and enjoy your life. Right, so this is the kind of thing, right, that is tested and proven. It's boring, it's common, it's boring, but this is what works. Okay, and I ask you, do you want to follow a solution that works, or do you want to follow a solution that's quick, but then you might also lose money? Okay, so now, Han-Ming also asked, the chart compares revenue versus stock price. Okay, Han-Ming, this chart is used from this site called Gaintify. Okay, I'm going to share the link so all of you can also learn. Okay, Gaintify. Okay, feel free to just use it, and if you want. Okay, now that you have learned 3 companies, right, I want to take a pause over here, and I want to share that if you also want to know how we find this kind of high quality companies, because these are the ones that I screen, I also shared with for all of you. But then there are also other companies, some might be under the radar one. Okay, that if you want to know exactly how you find these kind of high quality companies, so you can also spot it yourself and also accelerate your portfolio growth at the same time. I have something special for all of you, just since you all take time to join today's live with me. Okay, so it's actually this Buffett Acceleration Masterclass. Okay, so my good friend and my investing partner Rachel, tonight, okay, the next session is happening tonight, and okay, and it's just I'm sharing with all of you, so for all of you can clinch the opportunity as soon as possible. It is a free masterclass. The Buffett Acceleration Masterclass is going to happen tonight from 8 to 10 p.m. Okay, so this isn't theory. Rachel will walk with you the approach, the same business approach for identifying great businesses that is inspired by Warren Buffett's principle, but adapted for today's market. Okay, so the thing is, the best part, right? What I want to share with you, the best part is that when you join tonight, what you will also get, just for all of you, when you sign up, right, you are going to get our exclusive top 8 stocks watch list Q3 2025 edition, just edited few days ago only. But this is not done. This is done by both me and Rachel. We pick the top 8 stocks that are on our watch list that passes the criteria that we have just shared with you earlier. Okay, so these 8 companies, right, we believe have great potential over the next coming years. It's very free to join, but I need all of you to be quick to grab your spots, because actually our spots are filled. But then because of the class today, right, I spoke to Rachel. I said, hey, can we just open a few more slots? Just so that people who attend live can also capture this opportunity, because you all take the time to join, right? Because I want to make sure that I give you guys something in return, right? So there's only limited slot. I think there's only about I think about 10 slots that we managed to open up. So make sure to you can just scan the QR code that you see over here. Let me just circuit so you guys know. You can just scan this QR code over here and it should direct you to the link. Alternatively, right, you can also see below there's this rebrand link to you can join if you want. I'm going to paste it in the chat as well. Okay, the rebrand link, so that all of you can also click if you guys want to register, or the QR code on the top left corner as well. You can click it and it will just direct you to go and register as well. So it's going to happen tonight at 8 p.m. So be quick and make sure that you can join, and it's free to join. Okay, it's not like we are going to ask you to go and like pay to join. So most important is you just want to clinch the opportunity as quick as possible. So this is the link I've typed in the chat. You can join if you want as well. Okay, so make sure how this is your chance to know how top investors actually consistently uncover this opportunity before they explode in value. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next company, but the QR code will be left at the top corner, top left corner, as well as the link below if you need as well in the chat. Okay, now let's move on to the next company, and I think this is a company that confirm all of you 100%. I think 99% all of you will know. Okay, and it is the company that you actually, or the platform where you watch Squid Games on. Okay, so if you know this company, just type in the chat. Okay, let me know if you all know what company, just type in the chat. Okay, and if you guessed it, congratulations, because this company is none other than Netflix. Netflix, okay? How many of you know that Netflix is a listed company one? So Netflix, I tell you, some people might not know that Netflix is a listed company, okay? And but they have been listed for very long already. I think more than 5 years already, And some people might think that hey, Netflix is not sustainable there. Then like they only shows how powerful can their shows be and all. Well, I think it's proven, right? Because I would say 5 years ago, right, when you think of Netflix, right, we might think that, oh, it's just another platform. But the more important thing is how at that point in time, right, Netflix actually disrupted the whole industry. Okay, how they disrupted the industry, right, is that last time, how people watch shows, right, is like, you go watch a movies, you buy DVD. In US there's this very very popular place called Blockbuster, where people go and rent movie there, then they watch at home in the family, and then they return the movie. Netflix disrupt the whole industry, that now even Blockbuster is going out of business already. Right. So it's like at the comfort of your own home, right? You don't have to go and like go out anymore. Right. You just subscribe to the service, which is like $12. Okay, I'll talk a bit about the subscription later, about how smart it is. And you are able to watch a plethora of shows. And it's not some bad shows, it is good shows. Because over the past 5 years, they have built their model to be so strong, that their shows have deemed to be of a certain quality already. Right? Okay, Carol says Blockbuster in Bangkok, exactly that. Right. So you see, when their brand is so strong, right, that when you know that a show is coming on Netflix, you probably know that, hey, the production quality is going to be there. It's going to be a very good show. Example, Squid Games was the first one. Squid Games was one. Another one, shows is like Money Heist is also one of them. Physical 100. When I tell you all these shows, I show you think Netflix on. That's how they are built. That you know that these will be good shows. Okay, so I saw a question that Carol says. Carol says, "How about Disney Plus?" Okay, very good question. Now let me show you this chart. Okay, this is the correct chart. Okay, so you can see this is the chart that compares Netflix subscribers compared to Disney, Max, and Paramount. So Netflix, they started, I said that they in 2020 they were actually listed for more than 5, but actually they started since 2021, long time ago already. And you can see how their subscribers has grown as compared to other business model. Okay, I'll have another chart to show later, but you can see how they have grown until now. That shows how strong they are as a powerhouse. And Disney Plus, right, even they actually had a dip. You can see this dip over here. But Netflix, okay, not really a dip, but they stabilize, but eventually they went back up again. Okay, so you can see how powerful that they are and how they have actually dominated almost a very, very big part of the subscribers. And this number will continue to grow as their shows get better and better, as well as they have more partnerships and more shows that they develop on their own. So you can see the power, right? And Disney Plus, right, is catered to a very specific audience. I would say Disney Plus caters more to maybe younger audiences. Okay, younger kids, that's one. Another one, you also cater more to people who like Marvel shows, right? These are the two main things on Disney Plus, especially those people who want to follow very closely to Marvel. But Netflix, right, you realize that the shows that they have is much catered to a very, very bigger audience, not just Marvel fans. Marvel fans, they are a very, very big audience still, but niche. But compared to Netflix, right, they open up all their shows to much more general audience, right? It can be any show, people who like documentary, people who like those kind of competition show like Physical 100 and all. People who like Korean drama, I think those of you who are moms or you have mom, you ask them, right, they probably watch one or two shows on Netflix for Korean drama. And also movies, okay, self-created movies as well. So these are all the audience dedicated, which is much more bigger as compared to Disney, which is more to Marvel and more a bit for kids as well. Okay, so the next chart I want to show you, right, is that if you look at their, even though Netflix they have been increasing their prices but I tell you, increased price, people will still pay one just because their shows are very, very good. And if you base it on cost per average hours, okay, that is watched per month of the user consumer, right? Netflix is still the cheapest amongst everyone. Okay, and you see Disney Plus, okay, Disney Plus is 3 times right? So that means even though, right, their price increase every month, but the number of people using the platform, the number of hours people consume on the platform is actually still the best. Not one of the best, it's still the best amongst all the other platforms as well. Right, so you can see how powerful it is, and now even better than traditional TV as well. So you can see how it's a very, very powerful thing and powerful business model that they had as well. Right. So at the same time, Netflix is not really a verb, but he has evolved a little bit as well. So it's like when people want to chill and do something, they say let's Netflix. Right, it's like Google. You notice the similarities over there. People will not say that, hey, let's go and watch Netflix, but they might just say, hey, let's Netflix. Let's see Netflix got what. A lot of it, people, the first thing on the mind is Netflix already. People, you won't really say, hey, let's Disney Plus, right? So you can see how analyzing this sort of consumer behavior can tell you something as well. And if you look at their share price, right? Okay, very interestingly as well, right? You can see, what I tell you, last time during 2020, 2022, that period, you can see how the stock price crater, right? But look at the numbers. Look at how the revenue have been growing since then, right? Make sense or not? Right, guys, you can see the stock price drop, but the numbers keep going up. Make sense or not? If you think makes sense, just type MS. If you think don't make sense, just type DMS in the chat. Right? How can it make sense, right? How can the numbers be improving so nice, but the price drop, right? So these are the kind of opportunities. At this point, I tell you, everyone was saying that, hey, Netflix is going to die, Netflix is going to die, right? Wow, look at that. If you bought at this point, when Netflix was, I think it is, how much was it? I think Netflix here was below $250. Now Netflix is $1,000, $1,200. You have 5 times your money in less than 5 years, Right. So you can see, right, how this kind of, when you identify, the most important thing is being able to identify quality businesses, which we teach in our classes. Tonight, when you join the Buffett Accelerator Masterclass, that's where you have a preview of what we teach in our community. But this is the kind of things that we teach our community, right? We show them how to find great companies. And on top of just buying them, we also on top latch on option strategies as well. What kind of options can we apply to them as well? So you can see how Netflix is powerful. Okay, and the final company is also a company that all of you, I think one way or another, also got used before. And this company is Adobe. Okay, so Adobe, I think more of you might know Adobe as Photoshop, but they it's true, it all started from Photoshop. But they are also expanding their services. Photoshop is just one. But you know that if you talk to any creators out there, right? Any creators or marketing professionals, right? They use more than that, lah. Okay, and it's not just Photoshop. This is what they call Creative Cloud. Okay, Creative Cloud is like Photoshop, I think it's Lightroom, and also all the video editor, right? Everything, right, is all Adobe one, and they are the market leader, by the way. So on top of that, right, they also have Document Cloud, which is the Adobe PDF viewer, right, and also editing, not very big lah, and also signing lah. So Creative Cloud is still one of their biggest one. Okay, and also recently they have also adopted AI inside, right? I think you have seen that they have continuously expanded their product offer as well. And in addition to that, okay, you can see a lot, okay, desktop app, mobile app, and also now their new AI portfolio as well. Okay, so you can see right over here, AI first, AI assistant Firefly. This is the Firefly app, where you use, right, straight away, you can edit the image to be what you want. Like you select a circle, a certain portion, and you say, hey, I want this one to generate and all, right. This is where their AI first Firefly comes around. So you can see, right, their existing portfolio is actually extensive. But for the rule of AI, right, I think it's very important for us to know how companies are adapting to AI. And you can see that what they are doing is very good, right? They are expecting it to grow. And this, you can see that their ending Q1 ARR, the revenue was 125K, right? But end of Q4, end of this year, right? Okay, they are expecting almost double it. So you can see it's still very early, right? They are still one of the leading and still have a lot of market shares. But of course, right, for Adobe, right, we of course want to see as much AI monetization as possible, right? Carol says, DocuSign dining. Yes, why DocuSign is dying? Carol, very, very good point. Is because DocuSign they only focus on document signing. Even though, yes, they can give the best of document sign, but how good can it be, right? If you just use documents to sign, right? But what if Adobe can also do the same? They can look through a document, they can screen a document for you and everything, and they can do it for you as well. So you can see how for DocuSign, it's very hard for their business model to stand out against others. Whereas for Adobe, right, this DocuSign style is only one part of it, right? They still have their main business. The main business is still the Creative Cloud as well, and now the AI which they are latching on. Now, on one you okay, now you remember just now we saw the share price, right? The chart of the Adobe. Now, if you look at Adobe's price, right, you guys will see something. You guys will see something very interesting already, right? What do you all see? You guys see that the revenue is going up, right? Remember just now the thing we say, hey, revenue going up, but share price drop. Why is it so funny? Now, look at how the share price is. Then you might think, hey, Beyond, this is a bad company to invest in. How can the share price be dropping when the revenue is going up? That is not the question you should ask. The question you ask, if the company is performing, how come the share price is dropping? Right. So this is a little kind of an insight that I want to give you guys for you to take away. Right? Of course, it's not saying that, hey, now this is undervalued, go and buy. Hey, no, you cannot also do this kind of stuff. Right? This is what I call why I include Adobe, right? Is because I want to share this opportunity with all of you as well. I want all of you to think about it. I want all of you to go and learn more about the business. Because what if this is an opportunity? What if the revenue can continue to go like that? What if the revenue goes like that? Correct. Do you think the share price will continue to drop or not? Right? Or do you think the share price will continue to climb upwards? Okay, of course, we have no idea. I have no idea. But what we know that if Adobe is a quality company and we can do the research and we know that this is a company that will still thrive over the long term, right? Then eventually, right, I think we will see some progress on this front. We see that the share price will actually reflect the company's performance, right? But this is something I want to kind of like share with you. I'll give you guys a little thing. Carol says it will bounce back. I honestly I don't know. Anyone who tell you say they know bounce back are probably lying to you. It's very hard to say. But what can we do, right, is we can read about the company and analyze the company. Okay, and this is what we will go in depth. Okay, in our class tonight, we'll give you guys a bit of teaser of how we do it. So if you haven't do it, make sure you sign up at the top left corner. Just go and scan the code. I think right now, my team just update. I think we still have probably less than 5 spots. So for those of you who are here, make sure to go and scan it as quick as possible. Okay, less than 5 spots only. Right now, so this is what we have. Now I'm going to move on the 5 companies. So again, what are the 5 companies? The first one is Microsoft, second one is Google. Okay, the third one is what's the third one? Suddenly forget. The third one is, let me screen back. Third one is Visa. Okay, the fourth one is Netflix, and the fifth one is Adobe. Okay, so these are the 5 companies, right, that you can consider to take a look at. Okay, but you're using it every day already. Okay, so we're giving you like the utensils, the equipment to go and fish. The next job is for you to go and learn how to fish yourself. But if you need some guidance, okay, make sure to join our class tonight as well. Okay, now I'll move on to the last part, which is some Q&A. For those of you who have any questions, but if you guys have any questions of any companies that went through, or maybe a bit not related, I think we still have about 10 minutes here, so we can just give some time for companies to share over here lah. Okay, so let me see whether there's any other companies any other questions for you guys said. TC says divergence, share price divergence and stock price. Okay, yes, it's a divergence, but whether it's an opportunity, that's where the research comes in. So I'm leaving you guys with this opportunity for you guys to think about. Carol says potential move to Adobe sign. Okay, this is a good sign, but I mean is one thing lah, right? It is I wouldn't say Adobe sign is a very, very big business model now, but it's good to know that they are stealing customers. I won't say, don't say steal lah. Okay, they are taking customers. Arisha says put in watch list. Of course, okay, we are giving you 5 stocks to put in your watch list already. Okay, now, all right, I see a question from Amber. How do you think Central, the financial report is good but stock drop? Amber, I did not research Central as much. Okay, now let me do a very quick company. So Central is IT services and management consulting, right? Okay, so let me see very quickly. Central. Okay, so I think that for Central, right, is I think a lot of it is because of the business model that they are in. Right, they are in the IT services and management consulting. So okay, wait, let me stop share screen first, and then we can be more personal thing. Okay, so Central, right, they do IT consultant and management consulting, and this is a very, very competitive field. Right, even though they are the biggest, right, but a lot of companies, like, they can do the same thing, right? They can also do this kind of IT services and management consulting. So yes, even though the numbers might be improving, right? Okay, let me just look at their numbers very quickly. Central. Even though their numbers are increasing, let me see their revenue, right? Okay, but they are slow. The growth is slowing down by a lot lah. Right. So example, last time they were growing at like, during the 2020, 2021 period, right? It's like growing like 15-20%. But now suddenly they drop. Now they're only growing like 5% around there. So maybe that's why there's that concern coming in. Can they continue to grow? Are they in a very, very matured state already or not? So that's one. Okay. Karen says, can you comment about Lulu? Well, Lulu is a luxury product. Right, Lulu is for those of you who don't know yoga wear, I think many ladies have it lah. And I think they have tried to expand a lot to the male market as well and all. But I think that one thing that Lulu will face is a lot of very easy. It's not a very hard market to enter, right? I know that. So some of you who knows yoga, you guys probably heard of other brands like Lorna Jane, heard of Alo, right? So then the question is, what can Lulu differentiate themselves on, right? And it's very hard, right? What can they say? Oh, our quality, ours is more comfortable, but that is very generic. There's nothing special. So Lulu as a brand, right, it still has that brand name, but I personally, I'm not very very convinced lah. And also, you must think, right, when things become more expensive, right, will people cut back or they will buy more luxury stuff? Right, that's one. Second question, right, is if the product is lasting for so well, right? Because you see, this kind of consumer stuff, right? How it works is they have to keep selling, right? But if a Lulu product can last 5 years, then they cannot sell anymore, right? So you can see, right? And then also the male market is not very hard, lah. So a lot of it is based on the international, how well they can do internationally, lah. But for me, I think Lulu is a bit more it's a bit harder lah, I would say, because it's a luxury stuff and its consumer is very cyclical, right? And it's very for them to differentiate amongst others. Okay, time to buy is still dependent on TA. Carol, financial, fundamentals, analysis, and technical. Always the two. Okay, again, a lot of people like to go to TA straight, but it's very funny because everyone thinks that, oh, TA is something I can see, right? It's trend. I just do TA first, but no, that's wrong, right? You must do your fundamental analysis first and then go to TA. Why? Because trend can break. Right, trend can bring one. If you go in TA, let's say Lululemon, you will be losing money now. Trend can break. But what will not break is you learning about and understanding about the fundamentals of the business, right? When you look into the business, you look at their numbers, then you will know how good they are, what kind of quality they are, and whether they can sustain as well. Right. So think about it from the angle. The TA should come after that to confirm your FA. Okay. So that is I hope it answers your question. Andy, other than Master and Amex being Visa competitors, will cryptocurrency also affect Visa's future growth? Very good question, Andy. Personally, I think that it is not very clear right now. But crypto, I think that even actually, even if all the crypto cards, right, they use it's still Visa, Mastercard, or Amex. It's still one of these three. So it's like I don't think it really affects Visa growth. In fact, I think it even opens it up even more. It's just that the mode of payment will be cryptocurrency. Like you'll be using stable coins, USDC, USDE, whatever it is. But the card is still issued by Visa. So whenever anyone taps it, Visa still gets a revenue from it. So I don't think it really affect it. Okay, Janet says, what do you think Salesforce? Okay, Salesforce is one of the most matured. I think it's one of the most matured software business in the world already. I think it's a very very good business, right? I think if you ask any business out there for they're doing sales, right, I think they will all agree that Salesforce is the best platform they can ever use. I think personally for Salesforce, I do hope to see more AI initiatives lah. Like how do they plan to make the platform more AI? Integrate more AI stuff, right? So that they can actually attract more people using it lah. So, but Salesforce has really reached a very very matured growth. And the next part of them, right, will be acquisition, right? They have to see what companies they acquire to make the platform even more stickier. Okay. Okay, Yati says, how about ARM? Okay, ARM is a semiconductor holdings. Okay, they are a British British semiconductor and software design who design central processing and that are implement. Okay, I'm not invested in it. I want to share first. But let me just see some interesting stuff for ARM. I think it's because, and the thing about this kind of semicon, especially if you are in the semicon, if your company is doing semicon, regardless whether it is what kind of semicon, right, they will still benefit from the AI run that's happening now. And I think AI is still very very early, right? So I think that there's that room for ARM, but again, right, I think you also want to know what kind of life cycle they are in, which part. For example, right, let's say you talk about a company like ASML. ASML are the ones that build the machine to make the chips. Okay, then you have companies like TSMC who manufactures the semicon. Okay, and Samsung manufactures semicon. But also Samsung and also companies like Micron, they actually create the end user product. Example, the RAM, right? The RAM memory stick and all that, or the hard disk, which uses the semicon. And then you also have NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the one that uses the semiconductor chips, right? And then they sell the graphics card. And the graphics card is used in like all AI computing stuff. So you want to know what what stream they are in, right? Of course, the earlier the stream is more stickier, it is lah. But of course, if it becomes more commoditized, right, it's also very hard. It's also very hard for them to stand out. Example, if you talk about memory sticks like a Micron example, there's other competitors like SK Hynix, there's competitors like Crucial. So it's hard to find that differentiating factor. People fight on price over there. But if you talk about NVIDIA, right, who are the only competitors for NVIDIA? It's like AMD, right? And for AMD, right, they are more to the consumer side. Okay, if you're into the PC space, you know that NVIDIA graphics card is held in high regard as compared to AMD graphics cards. AMD graphics card every 2 years, 3 years they will spoil. NVIDIA graphics card can last for 5, 6 years. Right, this is in the consumer space where people buy the graphics card. But if you think about business, right, I think they also think in a very, very similar context. Okay, so that's for ARM. And okay, Zan asks, is applied materials a good wait, let me see your question again. A good businesses. Again, so I think applied materials is also the same thing. Supply equipment, service, and software for electronics, flat panels, for computers. So they are like providing all of these services lah. Okay. I think same thing. It's also a good businesses lah. I think if you look at the past 5 year track record, they actually more than double if you invested in them, which is always good to see. But it's the same question as I want to share with you as for ARM, right? You want to know what life cycle are there in, and how sticky. Most important is how sticky can they be for a business, because the more stickier it is, the harder it is to remove of it, and the more people needs it, right? So if you talk about like graphics card, AMD and NVIDIA, right? This one, like once you buy and you implement into your IT infrastructure, your AI infrastructure, right? You want to take out, you cannot take out one. Right, that is the first point. How competitive is it? Second point is how like what I shared lah. Like when you integrate inside, how hard is it to replace right? Is it in a competitive field? Because if not, right, if it's across, like the example like AMAT, right, what they do, they provide equipments or manufacture of what for electronics flat panel display. But if anyone, are there other competitors now that can provide this kind of flat panel display? If there is, then the people will just fight on price really. So there's not much differences lah. But I mean, their results are releasing this week, Applied Materials, so it'll be good to see how they perform lah. Okay, so that's Zan. I hope I answered your question over there. Let me see whether there's any earlier thing which I missed out. But if you guys have any questions, yeah, feel free to type in the chat as well. Okay, now I don't see any questions. I don't see any questions now. So but before we end, right, guys, okay, I want to share something with all of you. If you guys enjoy this kind of insights, right, this kind of life that we share, right, there's actually a place where actually we share even better, even like I mean even faster insights, even more real time. Okay, and this is actually our Telegram chat over here, right? Our Buffer Online School Telegram chat. So this is what we do live, is like every week we have like 2 or 3 live sessions to share all these ideas with you. But we also have our Buffer Online School chat over here, where we actually share much more quicker market insights as well, as over here. So you can see like one of them is a video that I did to share about some thoughts that I was sharing. So a lot of videos as well, short videos, and also news, news that are happening in the market. So like the recent one, this is the one that this job reports that was released, and we immediately update the Telegram chat. So these are all free resources. The Telegram is free. So I want all of you to go and scan it. Okay, go and scan it. Go and join the go and scan and join the Telegram chat because there's a lot of value there. It's all free resources for all of you guys to take note over there, for you guys to keep up of things so that you're always in the loop, right? Because the goal is that we don't want to only just be here share with you what stocks to buy, but a lot of things happen, right? It can be macro things happening. What is Trump going to do next? This week there's going to be a lot of things happening, like the insights. A lot of macro news are going to happening. So it's to help you keep track, so they're always aware and know what is happening in the market. So make sure to join this Telegram chat. Okay, this is the first one. Now, second one, right, is also on my site. Right, okay. So I want all of you to follow me on my social. These are my Facebook and YouTube. So for YouTube videos and also for Facebook, right, what I also share is also very similar, right? It's also sharing this kind of videos and all the insights that that we share as well. And it's more for all of you to just learn and benefit from it for full, right? And also to make friends. So YouTube is also YouTube video. Example, this live video that we are doing. There will also be videos which we'll be pushing out every week. 1 or 2 videos every week for you to update. For example, last 2 weeks ago, we actually shared about the stock market, all the jobs report news that was happening, and then with Microsoft and Meta reporting earnings, right? How they have actually how did they do and how they affected the market as well. That is one. And then also last week we also pushed out right about the infinite wisdom for Warren Buffett as well. Okay, so these are the ones that we share over there, this kind of videos. So for all of you to go and learn, it's more for learning and educational purposes. And whenever there's any quick insights, we will also share. So this is I want you guys to follow. Okay, the Telegram chat. I'm going to show the Telegram chat one more time. All the links are already shared inside the chat. Okay. So again, the Telegram chat where we post real-time market insights for you all of you to stay in the loop. And the next one is my Facebook and my YouTube channel for all of you to follow for the same thing. So on Facebook, you can just follow or you can add me as friend. I will accept it. Okay, for all of you to go and learn and a lot of insights for you to take away as well. Okay, so I think that is all. I'll just leave this page up, okay, for you guys. Just feel free to go and scan or just click the link in the chat as well. Okay, but thank you all of you, for attending our live today. We appreciate it, and I think that we will still have a lot of these kind of live sessions that's going to happen over the next few weeks actually. So I think we're going to have another one this week. So a lot of things planned out for all of you, and a lot of ideas to share with all of you. So stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe to all our channels. Like even though now you're watching from Next Level, you're watching from Facebook, you're watching from our Buffalo Online School YouTube, whichever it is, right? Make sure to go and like. Make sure to subscribe. Turn on your notifications so that you'll be kept updated of what we will be sharing all the time, straight away, right to your doorstep. Okay, so I hope you guys have learned the top 5 stocks. I shared some opportunities as well. Hope you guys have taken away something, and I will see you again very, very soon. See ya.